Hey everybody, it's Rich at RMAutodiag, and today we're having a look at an MG, and it's got some stereo issues, and it also does this when you turn the ignition off. Right, so as per customers' complaint, they have recently purchased this new double DIN, whatever you want to call it, new radio with nav and all that sort of thing, and bought it as a kit, supposed to be plug and play, just connect the connectors behind and it should work. Since then, the only things that he's querying is it's not keeping its memory. Every time you start it goes back to this, and when you turn the ignition back off, it sets the wipers off as you saw at the start of the video, which is a bit weird as well. So he's left it unscrewed for us. So we'll get to the wiring back there and we'll see if we can work out what's going on. Right, okay, so quite conveniently, on the back of the stereo here, has given us a pin out. This is all for all the different nav options and bits and pieces, but the main pin out down the bottom for the connector. And we've got pin 15 down here as a ground, and pin 16 is battery positive. And the only other one that I'm interested in is pin 4, which is ACC, which is your sort of ignition feed. So I've got the ignition on at the moment, and what I've got, so if you look at the plug here, we've got that black and the yellow in the middle. The black is the ground and the yellow should be a 12-volt feed. So in there we've got 12 volts. So if we turn the ignition off, this one should stay live all the time. It does not. So I think that's an issue there straight away. So coming back out, you can see where I've probed into those pins. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find pin 4. And there we go. That's touching on pin 4 in the back of the plug. Just down there like that, and we have 12 volt permanent feed on there. So we've got some wires mixed up here. So what I'll do is we'll trace them back and we'll see if one of these pins on the connectors is the wrong way around, so we can get those two swapped around. Hopefully that'll be our only issue, but we'll see. So I'll just get that apart and have a look. Right, okay, so this isn't too bad of a job. That's where the original blue connector was there. Comes up and it goes into this joiner here, which then goes into another set of joiners, which is the original car stuff. So these are our wires that I was interested in, and from the car's original wiring here, this red one and this yellow one were the other way round. So all I did was pull the pins out, swap the wires round, so that we've got the permanent feed on the correct one now for the radio, which it said on the instructions down here. So we swapped both of them over, and hopefully put the ignition on. I did program in a channel, and we've instantly got our music back. It's remembered to stay on there. It hasn't gone back to that 88.7 or whatever it was. And if we turn the ignition off, the wipers don't go off. So that's a bit of a weird one. Put the ignition back on just to prove a point. And there we go, I can hear the music going, and we're still on this. So I think that's job done. Pretty simple fix. You can get this with aftermarket wiring. Quite often you will see the ignition feed live and the permanent live swap round the other way. It really does depend on the car, so it's always just worth checking. And if it does have sort of a legend on the back, you can check that out against that. Some pretty simple tests just using a multimeter, and we're away. So thanks for watching that one, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.